talking about, like, your character is kind of like the whole, like, twist of the movie
Yes.
that nobody expects. Did you expect it to make that big of an impact?
I didn't, I was expecting, a reaction, but I wasn't expecting, like, that big of a reaction. And people are always asking me, so wait, you played a boy? And I was like, no,
Yeah.
did you watch the movie?
Yeah.
And they're always so surprised. They're like, did you really shave your head? And yeah, I did. I shaved my head. I had no hair. Like, right, the last time I saw you, my hair was growing out, and I had a wig on. So I was, like, amazed that I got to be a part of, like, of something like that. And Christian Bale was such a cool dude. He was awesome. And Tom Hardy and Christopher Nolan. I just got such a awesome chance to get to know those guys and work on this movie. And do something I've never done before. There's so many things about that movie that I've done that, I never been to India. I got to go to India or London because of that. I got to go to London and India. I got to shave my head. And I got to be a part of one of the Batman movies. And Batman is absolutely my favorite superhero out there. Hands down. The other day, I went out wearing a Batman cape for no reason, and people were looking at me, and it lit up, and I was like, yeah, Batman forever! So I love Batman, and it was just so exciting for me.
I did. You went all out.
I
so
did.
Props to you for that.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really, I was so excited to shave my head. I was in the audition, and they asked me, would you shave your head for this movie? I thought about it. I was like, yes. When they did it, I was like, this is the best day ever. I was so excited. I don't know why I was so excited. So I got my mom to do my hair super pretty. I did like a Tracy Turnblad poof from Hairspray. And then they went and they shaved my head. And it was just crazy because they cut off a ponytail and they gave it to me. I was like, oh my God. And then they kept cutting with the scissors, just very uneven, just whatever, because it's going to be all gone anyway. And then so after we get pretty short, Christopher comes in, the director, and he goes, I want short hair. And then so they kept cutting with the scissors, and then Mr. Nolan comes in and they say, how's this? And he goes, bring out the clippers. I want a lot shorter. And they used this #1 blade, which is the closest from actually going bald, because I had this little tiny stubble on my head. So they shaved it, and afterwards I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, I have no hair. And that night, I had a premiere to go to for a movie, and nobody was supposed to know I shaved my head yet, so I had to wear this, ridiculous long blonde wig. And people were like, why are you wearing a wig? I'm just like, because I'm getting in the spirit of the movie. It was a prom movie, so I was like, yeah, that's right. And so it was crazy, but I was like, I really want to show everyone. I couldn't, though. Taylor Swift invited me to her concert. She's so sweet. I love her. And I had to wear a wig there, and Taylor's like, oh, let me see. I was like... She's like, oh my God! So it was hard to keep the wigs on all the time. They were itchy, they were sweaty. But also, I just wanted to show everyone. It was really cool, and I was like, guys, look! They had to, do a few rehearsals with me. So I had a helmet on, I had knee pads, elbow pads on before, I took it all off and just went and did it with the harness. So I did that, and every time on the rock that I'm supposed to grab, I was hitting my head with the helmet, the helmet, and I was like, problem solved. They lowered me down a bit, but it was, even with the harness on, because they can pull you and give you some slack and help you out, when I had to climb up, I was like, ugh! It was super fun. And I also got to climb that big, tunnel, and that was amazing. I got to do that, and what was weird? When they brought me up there, I was just hanging 60 feet in the air, and no mats below me. I was super comfortable. The minute I held onto the wall, my knees started shaking. I was so scared. But when I was just hanging, could drop right there, I was fine. I don't know. My brain is so weird. Every time I get the phone call saying that I got the job, is just hallelujah. They brought me and my mom and my dad to a meeting, and I was thinking, oh gosh, they're bringing me here to tell me that I didn't get it. So I walked in there, I was like, oh gosh, I was really nervous. And so they sat me down, and they talked to me for a while, and they're like, so, would you like to be our Ramona? And I was like, come again? And I started screaming, and I called my sister, and I called my grandma, my other sister. I was all over the place, and I met about 200 people after that. And so it was just one of the best feelings ever. But my advice is that you have to never give up, because, you never know when it can happen, and it's an amazing feeling when it does, and it's you you're really proud of yourself for not giving up after all those times. And I just want people to, you know, pursue their dreams and not give up a hope. My family definitely keeps me grounded. And also, I know when I meet people who let it go to their head and stuff, it's not fun to be around them, you know, and it's just not. It's like you meet them, you're just like expecting to like, oh hi, nice to meet, and they're just like hi. It's not fun, and I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be standoffish, and I want people to like me. So that's also a really big factor in me wanting to stay grounded and also staying grounded, and it's just like the normal life, but just you know, kind of more
fun.
Yeah, a little fun.
What is one of your main goals coming into Hollywood and being in Hollywood?
My absolute main goal ever is to win an Oscar when I get older. That's my goal. Yeah, so that'd be really, really fun.
Now, have you gotten any advice from any Oscar winners? Or?
Well, you know, tons of Oscar nominees and stuff. But you know, when I was working on like with James, when I was working on Oz, like sometimes I'd be like, oh, I don't know how to say this line. It's so weird. It's so like how do I say this? And like we'd work together and we start like, okay, you say this line and I'll say the line again, and just like we just work together. So yeah, I've definitely gotten some like great advice from like the great actors I've worked with, and Channing is so funny. Like we would always like, because our director on Oz and on White House Down, so flexible. They would let us do it like really whatever we want, add a line, take away a line, put a little line there. So Channing and I, we would always like add lines and do like these little improv segments, and then Roland would be like, that was funny. So that was really fun. And also same with Oz, like Sam Raimi was just the best, and I had so much fun working on all the movies.
Awesome, that's great. That's always the best. One film, no matter like if it's from a book or a series, what would you want to make a film be made of, and then who would be like your dream cast and crew for it?
I'm not sure. You know, I always wanted to do like a really dramatic movie, which would be fun. But also, I love doing all different kinds. I love doing drama. I love doing comedy. I love doing like scary movies, and I just love all of it. You know. But what would my dream movie? That's a good question. I don't know. I'm such a big fan of like so many actors, and I would just love to work with tons of people. I'm such a big fan of Jessica Chastain, Jason Bateman, Melissa McCarthy, who else? Sandra Bullock, Drew Barrymore, Queen Latifah. I love like so many people, and I just like, it's hard to pick, you know, people to just try to, you know, out of your brain. But I don't know, it'd be kind of fun to do a movie with all my idols and even some people that I have worked with. That would be the ideal movie.
Okay.
One particle of the unit obtaining has a nuclear reaction with the flux capacitor, carry the two changing its atomic isotope to the radioactive spider.